Today's magic number is going to be 13, and that is because if we can get up to 13 cards into our hand at any point today, we are going to be winning games of Magic. How, you might ask? Well, there's a very unique card called Triska Decaphile. This is a creature that says we have no maximum hand size, and if we can have 13 cards in our hand on our upkeep, we win the game outright. It has a nice little tie-in ability as well for 4 mana to draw an extra card. This thing is really sweet, very unique, like I said, which means we had to build a very unique kind of deck around this. I don't know how to explain this deck. It's got a little bit of everything. It has ramp mechanics, life gain, as well as, some over-the-top control spells. But we'll start things off with the ramp mechanics. So we definitely want to be ramping in this deck, and we'll tell you why in just a moment. But we have things like the many journeys and joint exploration to get extra lands on the battlefield, but to also be drawing extra cards as well with that joint exploration. Now, we're ramping because we're trying to work our way to a very big silver scrutiny in the end game to draw a boatload of cards to try to win the game with this Triska Decaphile. Now, we also want to use this extra mana for bigger spells like Farewell to kind of sweep the board and slow pacing down on the game to get this win con going. We've also got some backup win cons here. We've got things like Teferi and Behold the Unspeakable. Both of these cards do generate a creature for us that, is power dependent upon how many cards are in our hand or how many cards we're drawing, which works out perfectly because we're going to be drawing a ton of cards. So we're going to be alting Teferi, doing things like that as well. So it's a really fun deck, a very unique deck, and people are not expecting this win con, so we definitely got a few people with this little trick today, and I'm sure you're gonna enjoy today's video. But if you guys want, there'll be a full deck breakdown, of course, at the end of today's video, so stick around for that. In the meantime, in the links below, there's a full deck list, and if you guys enjoy content just like this, if you wouldn't mind, give the video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff helps out an absolute ton, and I would greatly appreciate it. With that being said, enjoy today's video, guys. We'll see you guys back here at the end. Peace. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today is going to be so much fun because we're going to be playing a card with the most unique sort of win con and the most original win con currently in standard, which is Triska Decaphile. It's a card that allows you to win basically by having 13 cards in your upkeep, which is really silly if you think about it, but a lot of fun to say the least. We've made decks like this before with this card. We've played it in Soul Tie. We've had some success with it, so I'm hoping we can kind of keep that going here today with this Bant list. We've mixed it up and we're trying some new stuff here today, so hopefully Bant can get it the job done, which I think it can. It has this really unique opportunity for us to not only ramp into a big silver scrutiny, but also some life gain and things like that that are important for our success. I may want to actually just get this down on 2 here. I was a little bit afraid to maybe play it out, but our opponent's not playing a lot of removal, I would imagine. They're just going to try to protect their things like Delver's Secret and whatnot. So I would imagine it's not going to get hit with like a lightning strike or anything like that. But if it does, I'm willing to take that risk. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. They play the Swift Spear. They're probably looking to get the full value out of they're probably gonna put this on this, pump this to a 2/3, maybe play one other spell. I'm not gonna block. I'm not gonna go for that. Not trying to lose my Triska Decaphile immediately like that. Let's go ahead and just give them the opportunity to play the slip out the back on their Delver and call it a day. Nothing though from the opponent here. Interesting choice. Because they're clearly going to play that, I would imagine, yeah? So why not get the pump out of it when you attack, I guess? I don't know. It's all good to me, though. I'm happy with that. And they throw down a Consider. Yeah, I knew they had another 1-mana spell here to get advantage out of, so pretty happy we didn't fall for that. Not to mention we get a nice little third path, which is that life gain mechanic I was telling you guys about, where Bant offers us a bit of life gain, which can be very crucial in a lot of games because we do have a slower game plan. It takes a little while to get going, so it'll be nice to have that life gain. All right, I have a depopulate, which is why I'm letting that get through. I do have to worry though about slip out the backs and things like that, but if I can get them to use up all their mana here on this turn, the depopulate is going to be really good. So if they do attack with the Swift Spear here, I'll make a block, kind of coaxing them into playing that last spell to pump it up. Yeah, I think we can get him to walk into a very good sweeper here. I think. I may not have to even coax them into it. Yeah, they just tap out immediately looking for that ability to attack here. All right, so they consider. We definitely block here because we're going to be using that sweeper next turn. They're tapped out. They do have a lot of the ability to draw a lot of cards, though, obviously. We're going to go ahead and gain that life back that we lost. Simple sweeper, and we're back in this. We're back in this just like that. It's 20-11. We're winning this game. The opponent has nothing but these Shivan Reefs that are dealing them damage, which is pretty wild. They may die strictly because they're, you know, they have the wrong lands in hand here, but we'll see. Otherworldly Gaze does pump up the Swift Spear. That card does not draw them cards, though. It just gets them the ability to set up their top decks here. And they decide to throw the land away, which I don't blame them, but that would have been a land that would not hurt them. They're dying to their own deck at the moment. All right. The odds of this getting hit with the Spell Pierce pretty low, but I'm going to play it. I'm going to go ahead and run it out. Again, I think our opponent's more focused in on if they're going to play 1-mana spells, more protection stuff and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and run this out. I am going to play the 2/2 token. It will obviously get ran over here in almost every scenario, but it'll at least protect the fairy long enough to hopefully let us get some card draw going. All right, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, creatures you control get 1/0 and gain trample. That's good because that can mean that it can get through to the Teferi. I've never ran into an opponent that ran into the problem of playing out all 4 of their pain lands the way that this has happened for them, and I do feel a little bad. They literally lost this game because of the fact that they got, you know, burned out by their own lands.
It just keeps getting worse.
And they run out another creature, which is a big mistake because we are sitting on another depopulate, which I'm sure they would hate to see. Let's get out the many journeys. It's a good way to gain some life here. Obviously not having another land is losing a bit of value, but I mean, this game was long gone the moment they kept a handful of those burn lands. So GG's. A little bit of an odd game there. Not exactly how we wanted to win, but a win's a win. What a good game to start off the video, man. Not only that, my wife and son just came in between that game and this one and brought in some Pokemon packs, and we just opened them up in Silver Tempest. We hit two for 2. She grabbed 2 packs at Walmart, and we hit 2 for 2. Omistar VMAX and a Dragonite Hollow. That was kind of cool. So that's a fun little thing me and my son and wife love to do together. Just collect those Pokemon cards. All right. And she got me hot chocolate too. Well, she got it for my son. He didn't want it though. It's delicious. Anyways. What a good way to start the video. Hot chocolate, Pokemon pulls, and a win. But we do need to get a win though that obviously at some point today we got to get a win that has a Triskaideka file in it, like the 13 cards. We can't keep winning other ways. We gotta make a win somehow happen with those cards. All right, we're gonna go with the tap land because we don't have a 2-drop here. All right, and we'll pass the turn. We'll look to gain what is it, 7 life here on the Union. That's a pretty good pull here. The opponent on some Jund colors. I think I'm actually not, well, I could kill, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still gonna go for this. All right, it's another land. Unfortunate. Another land. Unfortunate. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, gosh darn it. Do I give them the ability here to put some cards in the graveyard? I do have the possibility of hitting a Farewell, which could eat their graveyard and everything. Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to this. I think we'll wait. We'll wait until we hit a Farewell. I think we have 3 in the deck, right? Let me see. Yeah, we have 3 in the deck. So very strong possibility we find one here. We blow everything up and we get a hard reset. We'll see. But they only drop a cut down, so it's not really a reanimator deck. I was looking at looking to see if the opponent was going to drop like a Titan of Industry, something like that, but you know, being at 27 life helps a lot too here. I think we're in really good shape here. The opponent's just slow enough and just mid-rangey enough for us to get set up for our plays, and you know, that big life gain early on, you know, buys us a bunch of time too. So it should work out pretty nicely. No blue mana from the opponent yet either. Obviously the treasure can count as blue, but I don't think they're necessarily a blue deck. That was a bust. That was a huge bust. Okay. Do we go for the extra land here, or do we just go for Teferi and try to find... Gosh, I don't know. I don't know what to do here, man. This is wild. This did not go exactly how we planned it, did it? All right, I guess we go Teferi here. It will force them to have to deal with it, right? They can't just let this thing sit out here and get value. And I'm gonna plus it. Do I plus it or do I get the token? Well, I guess if we get the token, right, and they immediately pull the trigger on killing Teferi with some sort of kill mechanic here, which they could have, then we know we don't have to block and we can kind of pump the token up. And if they don't do anything, though, and they take their time, I am going to be forced to block the 2/2 at some point. Okay, there it is. There's a cut down. So Teferi's dead. I guess we should have gotten many journeys there so I could have gotten the memory deluge next turn. But I have a depopulate. Not too concerned. Can slow them down a little bit here. Hopefully they commit a little bit more to the board state though. All right, Cruelty of Gix. They don't hit anything from my hand, so that was a waste. I have no creatures in my yard either. Neither do they. So Cruelty of Gix, kind of a waste for them in some ways. And I get a Dissipate, so that's really good. Not able to cast it though and the depopulate at the same time, so I think I'm gonna have to give up the fact that we're gonna get hit by this 2/2. And what I'll do here is I'll actually just go for the many journeys. You know what, never mind. I'm doing this. Give them another land, and we'll hold the Dissipate for any sort of massive spells they want to cast this turn, and we'll take 4 damage, giving them more treasures. It's not ideal. It's definitely not ideal, but it's what we got. Could bounce the token too if I wanted to. Is that? No, I don't think I want to. I think I want to hold the Dissipate. I don't really care if we take 4 here. I do care that they're getting all these treasures though. That's the main thing that's causing me grief right now, because I know they, you know, they can play anything they want to play that's massive at any moment. Nothing from the opponent here, huh? Guess we gained some life here. Find a Teferi. Silver Scrutiny's not bad. Not bad at all. Unable to protect my Teferi if I bring it in. So maybe I just hit him with the depopulate. I don't love it. I don't like the depopulate here very much at all, honestly, but I do have enough mana to at least dissipate something if they want to cast it. So it's not terrible. I would have rather have played Teferi and then had a depopulate ready, but I didn't have nearly enough mana to do that. Burn down the house, 1/1 devils. Do I care? Yes, I kind of care. It would be an annoying thing to have to work around. All right, not enough blue mana though for a dissipate, or not that I have one anyways, but we do have a silver scrutiny, so
Nobody knows the past better than me.
you know what? Yeah, if we're gonna full send, let's full send, man. All right, next turn we've got the biggest silver scrutiny ever. We've got what, 9 lands right now, potentially 10. I don't really care too much about that right now. All right, so we have 10 lands. So I could definitely alt Teferi if I wanted to, because I can go for 8, 9, 10, 11. Actually, I could not alt him right now. So no, I could. Well, no, the plus, but then okay, sorry, just talking to myself here. All right, so we have 10 lands. If we go for 8 cards, we'll have to discard 1. Let's do this.
Knowledge is meant to be shared.
What a draw step, huh? Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool too. It's a pretty sweet combo, I can't lie. Very sweet combo. Almost spilled that hot chocolate all over my shirt. Barely got in my mouth. Ooh, portal comes down. That is clutch. Very clutch. But the opponent doesn't have any creatures to reanimate, right? No, they don't. We don't have any in our yard either. Which means our farewell's gonna look pretty nice. It does stink that we lose our 3/3, but I mean, all things considered, I am willing to give up the graveyard, I think, here. Because if I... Well, no, maybe not. Maybe we don't have to. Yeah, I don't think we have to. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Eyes everywhere.
Pass the turn. We have Memory Deluge. We have Joint Exploration, I think is the card I'm going to hit next. I do need to find a Triska Decaphile, though, if I want to try to close this thing out. Gotta depopulate for that if I want to, but I don't know if I want to. I think our 2/2s are going to do a lot more damage. Yeah, let's dump both those off. I don't really need either. Another Teferi. I guess Teferi really wants to be the win con this game. So be it. So be it. And I could have ulted Teferi here too if I wanted to, but I don't think I necessarily wanted to. All right, let's go ahead and attack in here. We have an instant speed march, so there's a good chance they double block here, and if they do, I'm happy with that. No double block, not surprising. Take care of the consuming blob. I know it's a 5-drop because I use that card a lot myself. All right, we end our turn. Look to Memory Deluge here on the end step. We got 1, 2. Oh yeah, we got plenty of mana here. That's the beauty of ramping up, man. We get so many lands to work with. Let's try to find a counter spell. We don't find a counter spell, but we did draw some good cards here. And there's the scoop. The opponent doesn't want to play anymore, which is a bummer because they did kill the Teferi. It would have got interesting there. But I did just find my other win con here, which was to get the Triska Decaphile down next turn, draw 13 cards with the silver, and then we were going to close it out. But it is what it is. I get why they don't want to play anymore. I mean, not to mention we were probably going to gain another 20 life. But GG's, man. GG's. All right. That was a good one. Another really great game where we never really felt the pressure from the opponent at all. We were really kind of crushing it. Are we actually a really good deck? Who knows? All right, we got a good start here with the joint explorations. I think I'm going to play one for 2, and then I'm going to play the next for 3, obviously, and just really try to find the tools we need here. Let's give the old hello and say go. They crack the Evolving Wilds for what color? Man, this hot chocolate is the truth. So good. All right, Silver Scrutiny and the Path are both really good cards, but I don't have any white mana. Gosh, I don't know. Guess we do it like so. We are potentially going to ramp this next turn. All right. The opponent's showing us Boros colors here, and now they show us a Phyrexian Dragon Engine, which can do some serious damage. I won't lie. That is a pretty scary card. We find a white source and a Behold the Unspeakable. Both cards very good. I guess we can keep that. Because we can play the Behold the Unspeakable this turn and shut the Dragon Engine down for this turn because it won't have any power. So the double strike is irrelevant, but we also get some card draw, so... Are we in the Wandering Emperor territory now or what? I am kind of weirded out by the Evolving Wilds. That is a card that I don't really understand why it's in this deck yet. Obviously there's got to be a reason at some point to find out, but right now I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. Interesting. I will take both of these, preferably the white source. All right. Sorry, guys. My dogs got groomed today, and the dog hair has been brutal. All right, let's go with... I'm going to go with the farewell because this can come back, and I don't want it to come back. So let's go with creatures and graveyards. Do a little reset here. Obviously, that was a super expensive card, a very powerful card I just used on 2 threats essentially, but those are some powerful threats I didn't want to have to deal with. And we finally find a 3rd color, which is Mardu, which explains the Evolving Wilds a little bit better. All right, Ronin comes in. Looks like we might get a Triskaidekaphile win here, potentially. All right, let's go ahead and pass the turn over. We have a great blocker. Not to mention, we could draw a card with the Triskaidekaphile, which could, you know, maybe throw off the opponent's attack here, because they may attack into me with a 4/4, thinking, oh, I'll trade, not realizing that it'll actually be a 5/5 after we draw the card. I think this is turning out pretty good, guys. Things are going really smooth for us at the moment. Let's hope it stays that way, though. I just hope we get the win that we're looking for here. I could have obviously countered that, but I'd rather not. I'd rather not, just because I'd rather keep the Dissipate on hand to protect the Triskaidekaphile in case the opponent wants to get a little saucy with some removal spells. All right, we get another land. 6 cards in hand. Play this for what? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That puts us at 11. Doesn't quite get us there, but it gives us a massive blocker. Also, it doesn't allow us to play Dissipate to protect. So maybe we wait. Show a little bit of patience here. Let's get to Fairy down. Get a creature down. Say go. 3 mana left over to counter something. Doesn't stop the Mishra from trying to get through, though, I'm sure. This might have been a little bit of a greedy play, to be honest. I might have you know, there's a chance that I should have maybe just gone for the Silver Scrutiny, but we'll see. We'll let that get through. Again, Dissipate is for 1 card and 1 card only. It's to protect Triskaidekaphile for the win. I'm playing pretty bad. I'm gonna be honest. I know I'm playing bad right now. I probably should have prioritized protecting Teferi there. I probably should have never even played Teferi out there, but I'm really looking to try to win a game with Triskaidekaphile to show you guys what it can do. I don't know how many opportunities we're gonna get to showcase it, so I'm trying my best to make it happen. All right. No attacks from the opponent. Good. That's a card. Love that. All right, so let's draw some cards with the Scrutiny here. We're going to leave 3 mana open for the Dissipate. So if we're going to leave 3 mana open, we've got 9. Take it to 7. Take it to 6, 5, 4. So we're going to draw 4 cards. I hope I did the math on that right. You know, me and math don't go very well together. All right, 2 more Silver Scrutinies, and we go to a 7/7, which is massive. So we actually can send these through and force a pretty good block. Do we send both? I don't see why not. I mean, well, if I could send both, and it's probably the right play, because I can get 7 over the top and force a block here, but I don't really want to try to kill them with these cards, right? So I'm really just trying to buy time for this, because I want this to be our win con. So I'm going to attack with just a 7/7. Again, I'm very aware of my negligence here and how bad of attack this is. But I want to make sure we win with this. This is my goal. I guess that's a good problem to have, though. Which way do you want to win the game? You know what I mean? Could I lose the game because of that? Sure. Hero's Downfall. It doesn't kill this. I'm not protecting it. I should, but I'm not. I'm also kind of lulling them into an idea where they think maybe where they're safe. like, oh, he doesn't have any counter spells. We're good. But that's not the case, my friend. So still the opponent doesn't have a very good attack. So we're going to go ahead and pass the turn to me, I would imagine. All right, here we go. Let's win the game. Triska deck file, 8 cards in hand. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We need 5 cards. And that should be actually just enough to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's not enough to play this Dissipate. We're opening ourselves to potential removal spells here. Interesting. Oh man, this is actually really interesting. I'm gonna go for it, but there's a really strong possibility here that Triska Decaphile dies. Well, then in that case, we might as well do it for all 7. We might as well. I mean, there's like a strong possibility here. 13 cards in hand. Here we go. Send this over. They're gonna have to block. We know this. They say nice. Let's see if they have an answer though. Is it really that nice, or do you have an actual answer? We'll see. If the opponent scoops it up, I count that as a Triska Decaphile win because we have the 13 cards in hand. All we got to do is make it to our upkeep. They've 1 card in hand. That's good. We win the game. All right, cool. That's 10 damage though, plus another 2 from Mishra, plus another 1. Dang, that's 13 damage. They actually did a pretty good job here of getting close to potentially lethal. 15. Make sure I don't mess up the math here. Yeah, we're good to take this, right? We're good to take it. Let's go! We did it. We got the win with the Triska Decaphile. Feeling good. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. We played so bad for that win. All right, I am officially happy with how this video's gone. Anything can happen now. I'm chilling. I'm okay. Couple losses. It is what it is. We got what we needed, what we came for, and we're moving on. All right, this is interesting. This is a scary keep because we don't have any blue, and that could haunt us. But I have the ability to ramp early with this. There's our blue. Perfect. All right, we're fine. We're A-okay. I say we're A-okay, but we're going second against soldiers, so we might not be so okay. We gotta find one of our sweepers, which we have plenty of, so let's hope that those come off the top of the deck here in the next couple of moments. All right, we gained some 3 life off of this Journeys card as well. Not gonna lie, new hat and it feels great, but it's weird. The sizing is a snapback. I got one button that feels a little loose and one button that's giving me a headache because it's so tight, and I don't know what I'd rather wear it as. All right, let's go with joint exploration here, or do we want? No, let's go memory deluge. Try to find our sweepers. Let's try to find our sweepers. Now, when things die with this on the field, though, they create these colorless constructs. So obviously Farewell would be a better card, and that's why I'm kind of bouncing between the joint exploration here and memory deluge, because if I go memory deluge and let's say I find the Farewell, I can't cast it because I won't have enough mana. But it does get us, I don't know, man. I think it's got to be the joint exploration, and we got to hope for that. I don't know, man. I'm trying. I have no idea what I should do here. It's so annoying. I think it's memory deluge, because worst things, you know, worst comes to worst. There we go. We found it. Gosh, I'll take both, I guess. Worst comes to worst, I could play Teferi to make a block, but actually we drew into a depopulate and a Farewell, so we're looking good. Looking good. I just don't like that they get all these 1/1 constructs, not to mention that they can unearth that other soldier, so it's a little bit of a bummer to have to depopulate there, but I don't know. I don't know if we're going to win this, guys. I know we have great cards in hand for the win, but I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off. I need a land. I mean, if I hit a land off the top, we're golden. But that is a big if. Big if. There we go. I love it. We're taking 1 damage. That's something to consider, but all good. I do have to hit graveyards. I'm sorry. Whoops. I do have to get hit the graveyard, so I am sorry, Memory Deluge, but they good gamed me too. That I hope that was a good game, thinking that they were gonna win. That would be hilarious, because this game is not over yet, my friend. Granted, it's very close. Very close to being over. All right, Teferi, huh? Maybe Teferi is the move. Teferi gets a 2/2. They forced to attack Teferi. Teferi would die, but I'd be left with the 2/2 or a spirit token that would be absolutely massive once I start drawing cards. So that might help. Okay, so we're gonna play this out, and I'm gonna hope that it was the right call. Hopefully there's no Brutal Cathar. Brutal Cathar, you know, obviously wins them the game. We'll see. That does not win them the game. Close though. Can give flying, can't it? Flying, vigilance, and lifelink. What do they do here? They give this thing flying, I would imagine. Yeah, they're going over the top. Now, they go face. They don't go with the veteran. Oh, but they... Oh, I forgot about its ability there. Oh, the enlist ability. That was really good. I will give them that. That was actually really good. Well played. Well played. I don't appreciate the early GGs, though. I really wanted to win that one. Soldiers is brutal, though, man. Mono white soldiers gets the job done. Just, unfortunately for us, our sweepers just weren't very good because of this card. This card is pretty broken, being able to get them those extra constructs, but GG. All right, let's see if we can squeak in one more win for the road here before we get out of here. I hope so. I hope so. Ugh. Tired today. I need to take a nap. Some good hot chocolate. Where'd they get this from? Target? Actually, I don't even know. Oh, Black Rock Coffee. Nice. All right, we get to keep this all day. We got our green sources and the ability to ramp, hopefully into an Unspeakable or a Teferi. You know, I keep finding myself wanting to cast the Behold the Unspeakable more than I do Teferi, because Teferi is such a broken planeswalker, but it is really hard to protect, especially coming in on 5 mana. I know the 2/2 comes down, and that's great and everything, but a 2/2 doesn't quite cut it, man. It doesn't quite cut it when the board states, you know, are looking the way they're looking by the time it comes in, which is not great. Unspeakable, though, shuts the opponent's creatures down for a turn. And, this isn't good. This isn't good. I thought for sure we'd draw at least one more land off the top, but did not find it. Bummer. And I can't even dissipate either, which is such a bummer. Okay. The opponent, though, on Golgari colors. Stomper comes in, so they're ramping. Are they trying to do some fight rigging stuff? I would imagine that's going to be the case. Thank goodness for that blue source that just hit. We can dissipate something now, though. Slow them down a little bit. Blast Zone? Wow. That is a card. Blast Zone is just a really good way to deal with like tokens. Well, is it actually? No, it's mana cost, right? I was thinking, I'm like, what would Blast Zone be really good for? Because it can only hit one sort of amount of mana, right? So like if you bring it up to 5, for instance, it blows up everything that's 5 mana. So it's just such a strange sweeper. I think Blast Zone would be completely busted if like it swept everything 5 and below. I think that'd be kind of cool. But I actually take that back because it starts with 1, so actually it doesn't even hit tokens.
Knowledge is meant to be shared.
It's a card that I experimented with a little bit myself, but it just never really found a home for me. Llanowar is fine. It does activate lands as threats, something that I consider. They're 1 land away from being able to attack with the Stomper. Let's hope there's no more ramp here. Another Llanowar or another Stomper would be bad. looking to go with the Blast Zone Plus here would be great. That's what I'm saying. It kind of helps me out. If they go with the Blast Zone pump up here, then, you know, they're basically taking this turn off and I get to go again, which is great. Still can't believe my wife picked 2 packs and they were both foils. It's kind of crazy. It's pretty rare for us to hit that well. Usually my wife will go get packs, or I'll get packs, and we'll get you know, the duds, the ones with no hollows. Should we create another body here? I think so. I think we create another body and then we go here. And then we'd look to draw 3 cards next turn, which is going to be absolutely busted because it's going to pump all of our spirit tokens and Teferi to the moon. Now, Llanowar can create a 3/3 though. Are they willing to trade a land out though for my 3/3 spirit token? Because I can block. It is something I would probably have to do too, because I can't let Teferi die. Titan of Industry. I take that back. They're going to blow up my hold and probably create a 4/4, which isn't the worst thing in the world, actually. I can think of a lot of worse things than that, so. I genuinely believe, actually, getting the 3/3 down and attacking Teferi and making my decision to block tough was a much worse thing than that Titan. And they don't even blow up the Unspeakable. That is weird. They must not have read the card. They must not know what this card's all about, because it is about to hurt you, my friend. I don't need either of these. Okay. Getting lands regardless, it looks like. Doesn't look like we have much of a choice. All right, I am going to draw. I want to get these up in power. That's a card. That is a card. So if I play this, how much lands do we have? 7. So I can play it for a total of 5 or 3. I can play it for 3 and hope that we hit a Triska Decaphile, which would then allow us to keep our hand as big as we want. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to do this for 3 and hope that we hit what I need. Okay, we don't, but we have a backup plan here. The backup plan being the many journeys. Auto pay, extra land, and 10/10 and a 9/9 coming through to smack your face. All right, what are you going to do about that? Obviously, Llanowar has a shield counter. I would imagine that's going to be your move. Teferi's at 8, by the way. They really should have focused on removing these 2 things out the field, either with the attack or the, you know, Titan's ability to blow the enchantment up, but they really botched that, honestly. So 8, they're doing 9 to this. I have no way to draw 1 extra card. That would have been so cool if I did. Yeah. Dang it, if I had a way to just draw 1 extra card, that'd be so busted. Maybe I shouldn't have played the many journeys. Maybe I should have attacked first, and then on my turn I could have played the joint exploration and killed everything there and saved my 9/9. So that's on me. That was a misplay on my part. I didn't think that far ahead. I unloaded my whole hand before attacking, which was the mistake. That's not good. They're looking at their graveyard. Could you not? Could you not look at your graveyard? All right, that's fine. That's a little slow. That's a bit slow. All right, we got a Triska Decaphile. And a scoop. No, I wanted to win the game, man. Let me win the game myself. That's fine, though. What a freaking deck this turned out to be, huh? I think that might be our last game, so let's break this thing down. That will conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to break the deck down and talk about it a little bit further. But before I do that, as always, a huge shout out to everyone who made it this far into the video. I want to say thank you personally, because it does help out an absolute ton with the YouTube algorithm. So I do appreciate that watch time and all that good stuff. So thanks for supporting the channel the way you do. And yeah, with that being said, let's take a look at today's video deck list. So this is an interesting one, man. Obviously, the build around being Triskaidekaphile, a card that still people aren't prepared, for and not ready to deal with, because I'm still running into people on the ladder where they're picking off creatures from my field that are not the Triskaidekaphile, even though I have 13 cards in hand. They just don't quite understand what's about to happen when this card, hits this win con. It's just a lot of fun, man. It's a card I wanted to build around for a long time. Got around to it finally, building a Soul Tie deck a while back, but still was really late to the game on this card, and found out that it works really well with ramp. And the reason it works well with ramp is because this card really became a threat once Silver Scrutiny became a thing, in my opinion, because Silver Scrutiny can draw you an infinite amount of cards depending on the limitations of your mana. So this thing is really sweet. So of course, I had to go ahead and put it into a ramp build, right? That's what we did with our Soul Tie deck, and it worked out really well. So I wanted to kind of repeat the same thing. But with this, I also knew that in our Soul Tie deck, one of the main things that was great for our survivability, because it takes a while to set this up, is that we were able to gain life like crazy with March of the Wretched Sorrow. So without having that, I wanted to try to put this into a bant list and go with more of a Union of the Third Path play, because this can draw us cards, which is great, works with our build a lot, but it gains us a ton of life because it can, gain us life dependent upon our hand size, which can be absolutely ridiculous if we have no maximum hand size and we just drew 20 cards. The path is going to draw, gain us a ton of life in a blink of an eye. So that's kind of where we started this build, and from there we kind of expanded on it, which was really nice because we, throwing in white here added a lot of value to our deck because we could run a ton of sweepers. Like I said, controlling the board as long as you can to set this sort of play up is the key here. So we need a lot of control spells, a lot of sweepers, things like Farewell and Depopulate do a very good job of answering a lot of things right now, because all I'm seeing these days is just straight aggro. But that's for another time, that complaining. Not to mention we get access to March of the Otherworldly Light, another March card that is very good and is dependent upon how much mana we can dump into it. So of course it makes a lot of sense in a deck that we ramp with. Speaking of ramp, we have the Joint Exploration in Many Journeys, because Many Journeys, obviously, in my opinion, the best ramp card right now. Comes down on 2, you get that additional land, and it kicks you off into the right, path. Not only giving you that, it gives you 3 extra life and a body to work with, which is great. And then Joint Exploration here, obviously, drawing that extra card plays really well with the fairies and the spirit tokens they create, and also it helps us ramp too. So it works in 2 different ways here for us. I threw in Dissipate again. Dissipate worked in our last deck really well because it helps protect the Triskaidekaphile, and we won't have any concerns about it not being enough mana to play it, because it's only 3 mana to cast. It's one of the best counter spells you can ask for because it counters anything, and it exiles, which is really nice. And then of course we already talked about Teferi and our Behold the Unspeakable, both being win cons, both because the visions on the other side of the Unspeakable comes in and it becomes as big as however many cards are in my hand, which can smash over the top for flying and trample. Teferi obviously creating these spirit tokens we've seen can get absolutely absurd and out of hand quickly. And then lastly, I just splashed in 2 Memory Delusions. We're gonna have plenty of mana to cast it, this spell. It's an expensive spell, especially for its flashback cost, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue because we have a lot of mana. Not to mention that it can help us really find the pieces we need to kind of close the game out. So a very fun card to splash in there as well. Technically not drawing cards, so we're not actually, triggering the Teferi, but we're finding the pieces we need, which is really important. But yeah, I think that just about concludes the breakdown and how we built this thing and put it together. But before we kind of close this out and get out of here, we do have obviously another video coming tomorrow. If you guys are new here, we do videos Monday through Friday, so be on the lookout for those. And just another little minor shout out, for hitting the 10K. Again, thank you guys so much for getting us there by the end of the year. Absolutely phenomenal feat, and I'm super happy about that. And lastly, as always, got to give that huge shout out to the Mardu Mob. If you guys don't know the Mardu Mob by now, it's the membership program here on the channel. These people, help support the channel through the monthly memberships. And so I got to give just a big shout out to anybody out there who's part of the Mardu Mob and give my thanks for everything. I do appreciate that an absolute ton. And yeah, that's it. I think that concludes today's video. We'll see you guys back here again tomorrow for another one. Until next time, peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Fizzy, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap, yeah, it's custom to cheddar.